Welcome to Enlightenment Unknown, Life of a Spiritual Nomad. Join Reiki Master and Quantum Healing expert Wes Coons as he guides listeners through the depths of self-discovery and spiritual enlightenment to uncover the version of you we haven't met yet. Hello and welcome back to Enlightenment Unknown, Life of a Spiritual Nomad, where we are going behind the scenes of episode 9. Wes, welcome back.
Welcome. Hi, everybody. I'm glad everybody came back.
Yes, and I feel like you're being a little, there's a tinge of something in your voice, and I feel like it has something to do with we had to record the last episode 4 times.
For like 4 hours, yes.
But we are recording now. So Wes, episode 9 really felt like a big continuation of episode 8. So tell us why you wanted to go back and maybe give us some more detail on that.
You know, it didn't feel complete. For some reason, it didn't feel complete. And we had more questions about that episode than any other. And one of the things I didn't get into in that episode that I wanted to was, I keep hearing, what was your normal day? And my normal day was not being able to sleep, having things crawling on me nonstop, and looking for salvation, help, the end, looking for that beacon of light that's supposed to come and help me and save me. And that's all I did every day, all day.
Yeah, it was a lot. And you talked a lot in this episode about how difficult it has been going back, doing this podcast, reliving all of those experiences and emotions. And I was wondering, what is the number one tool maybe that you have that has helped you these last few weeks?
Well, Andrea pushed me to do the podcast, let's be honest.
You're welcome.
I mean, pushed me hard. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to go through the process again, even though I needed to. And the first 3 episodes, some people said it was very heavy. Well, no shit, it was heavy. How do you think I felt? I mean, I didn't know how to make it any lighter. And it was taking me to a place I didn't want to be. I think the morning of the 3rd episode, I may have said this already on the show, that morning I'm on my hands and knees, bawling, screaming because I was in so much pain. So much pain from things going on in my personal life, so much pain from going through this journey again because I had forgotten how bad it was. And we haven't even scratched the surface of it on this show. I don't feel like we have at all. But the one tool that has brought me forward was, one, saying I was struggling, right? And then the other part was I started doing my affirmations and going back inside myself. I am beautiful, I am gifted, I am loved. Every step I take raises my vibration. Every breath I take heals my body. Jesus flows through me at a high level to heal me, and together we heal the world. I love this life. I love this job. I love this place. That's what I say all day long. All day long I say that. That changes you like that. And it's made a difference.
Yeah, and I wanted to ask that, not so that we could bring up any more pain, but I felt like whatever was helping you could probably help other people with what they were going through.
Sure. And this isn't some Wes wants to go through pain podcast. This is, I can't help you become the person you're supposed to be if you don't know who I am. I have an open book. You're going to see my open book. And that's going to resonate with somebody somewhere, somehow, some level. It's resonating because I know it is, because people are reaching out to me all the time saying, you've helped me. That story's changed the way I thought about myself. And that's what this is about. It's being a leader in the healing industry, changing my life, changing who I am, changing my vibration to help you change yours.
Yeah, thank you for that. And it'll be a ripple effect.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
All right. And then I have one other question for you. And you say it all the time. You say all the time, life happens for you, not to you. And I know you understand that at a deep level, but maybe for someone listening who maybe this is, their first time hearing that, how can you explain that so they really understand what that means?
Sure. So I was taking a Reiki class from Trinae at the Reiki Wellness Center in Virginia Beach. And we were having this discussion about this topic. Life happens for you, not to you. And the philosophy behind it is that we were an angel in heaven and we were presented with an opportunity that you can come to this planet for 50, 60, 100 years, experience everything this life has to happen, which 100 years for them is a snap of a finger, and then you get to go back. And when you come here, that you have a soul contract. There's certain lessons that you're going to learn. And so I'm being presented this, and I'm getting pissed off. I'm like, wait a minute. So you're telling me I sat at some fucking table somewhere, and me and some dude are like, all right, I'm going to molest you, and you're going to take it, and then you're going to do this, and you're going to go through that, and you're going to have all these experiences that are painful as hell. And she said, yes. And now I can promise you, I didn't explain it as nice as we just did right there. I was a little bit more explicit because it didn't make sense to me. And so it took me a while, probably 6 or 7 months to think about that, honestly. But I knew this. I don't know if that's real, okay? I don't know if that's real. However, what I do know is this. I wanted to feel better. I wanted to heal. So I could sit there and say, that's a BS story. We're not on a contract. We're here one time or whatever it is or whatever you want to say to yourself to be right. Or I could sit there and say, that's plausible. And if I was here for a contract and he stepped in to be the abuser, I stepped in to be abused, we fulfilled that part of the contract, and the reality is, I don't know what he experienced. I don't know. I mean, who taught him how to do those things? I forgave him a long time ago. I don't know what his life experience is. It's none of my business, and I don't want to know. My life experience is, if I look at that and say it's a contract, and I fulfilled my contract, I'm not a victim. I fulfilled a contract. It gave me an out. It gave me an out of being the little boy that was abused. And that allowed me to change my story, because my story was I was sexually assaulted. And I was. And it was aggressive. And it was violent. And it was horrible. And it was all the things that you would think it is. But it is a sentence. It is a chapter. It is a paragraph at best now in the back of my book. And the book of Wesley Coons is, I am gifted, I am beautiful, I am loved. I am going to change who I am. I am the breaker of chains. My children did not get molested. We broke those chains. I am the breaker of generational curses for my family, and I am the bringer of generational blessings for my family for decades and generations to come, because I chose differently. I am not a victim. I experienced that. And then I moved on. And then I experienced something else. And so if life happened to me, I got abused and I am disconnected in my personal life today and I can't have a relationship or whatever that equates out to for you or for me, or life happened for me. And you know what happened during that time? I learned how to, at some point, forgive. I learned how to forgive myself. I learned how to have compassion to somebody who did something to me. We ain't going to have Christmas dinner together, I can promise you. However, I have compassion for him because I would imagine he's in pain too. It happened to him. That's my belief. I learned how to go through this journey and learn how life happens for me. I learned all these things. I learned how to change who I am. So that's how life happens for you. For example, you get divorced and you're just devastated, right? I mean, everything's gone. Everything falls apart. You don't know how you're going to move forward. You don't know how you're here. Well, I do. If you were me, I chose to ignore the red flags that were in front of me. Whether I understood them properly or knew enough about it to say that's what it was, I knew that wasn't my person. And I'm not trying to disrespect my ex-wife. She's a wonderful, wonderful woman. She just wasn't mine. And I wasn't hers. So we chose to ignore red flags, and then other issues happened. So life happens for me as I move forward. I say, man, those red flags, those things that this person had and the red flags that I brought to the table, I see those things. I'm healing those things. I'm going to avoid that in other people. That's how life happens for you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think it does. And I was just hoping you could give a little bit of an explanation. You did a wonderful job. Just because I know sometimes when we hear things, we hear them, but they don't really touch us at a deep level for a while. Like sometimes you have to hear things. I know for me, several times before I'm like, whoa, that's what that meant.
Yeah. Well, I would pick on you, but I'm not. No, I understand. I mean, it took me a while. I had never heard that before. I'd never heard that life happens for you and not to you. And then when I got the explanation, it pissed me off. Because it doesn't seem reasonable that I'm going to make this soul contract with this woman and, all these things are going to happen, right? But here's the deal. If you don't start thinking that way, okay, you're going to get the same thing over and over. Your vibration is not going to increase. You are going to date the same man or woman with a different look on their face over and over and over and over. And I can promise you, it is not fun. Because once you start to see the red flags and do those things, when that next person presents themselves to you and you love yourself enough to take it slow, to ask good questions, here's a really good question. In your last relationship, how did it end? And what did you learn about yourself? Or, what's your favorite color? Right? Because they don't teach us how to ask good questions. They don't teach us how to date. They don't teach us how to heal. They don't teach us how to write checks and balance checkbooks in high school, right? They don't teach us about life. So we find it when we get out. So ask better questions and listen.
Okay, but Wes, you are colorblind, so I feel like that was not a fair question.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to ask you what color that is. I might ask you what color your eyes are, but that's about it. And with any luck, I'll remember.
All right, thank you, Wes. Those are the only questions I had, but I do want to encourage all of the listeners to go to VB Healer on Instagram or at VB Healer on YouTube and subscribe and reach out to Wes and give us those questions because we are happy to answer them. Wes can answer you personally, or if they're about the episode specifically, then, we can answer them in the next behind the scenes.
Yeah, and we've got our new books coming out. Andrea just had hers published. What's the name of your book?
Mastery, a high vibration is your superpower, because it is. And Wes has talked about a high vibration a lot in this past episode, and it truly is your protection against low vibration things that you do not want to attract in your life.
That's right. And I have a new book getting ready to come out, I don't know, in about a week. And it's called The 15-Minute Transformation, and is talking about how you can create a 15 minutes worth of your day of affirmations, goal setting, and breath work to change the way you think, change the way your mind processes stuff, which ultimately is going to raise your vibration. But here's the deal. In healing work, I can reach in and pull the pain out of your shoulder. I can reach in and cut cords from past relationships so you feel better. I can do all of that, and I do it every day. However, if we don't fix what's between your ears, you'll never become the person you're supposed to be. And we created these shortcuts on how to, let's just do it, okay? You don't need a 250-page book talking about a bunch of stupid shit. Let me just give you the system that works, and that's what we're doing.
Yes, and I have to admit, it is not out yet, but I have read it, and you guys are going to love it because it gets straight to the point, and you can change your life today. Today can be the day. And with Wes's 15-minute transformation book, it literally is as simple as 15 minutes a day.
That's right. And one last thing, check out our long distance healing. If you're not from here, like we've got people in Russia and all over the world listening, you can participate in healing sessions with us through our group long distance and our one-on-one long distance. It's pretty fun, and it'll change your life.
It definitely will. Thank you, Wes, and thank all of you for listening to episode 9, Behind the Scenes.
Thank you. It's great.
You've been listening to Enlightenment Unknown with Wes Coons, your guide on the quest for self-discovery and the version of you we haven't met yet.